So as we begin to allow ourselves to experience these different feelings and emotions that we have, the more we begin to connect into our heart. And the more that we be able to connect into our heart, the deeper level of connection that we're able to build with other people. And so trauma or past life experiences, or maybe a lack of having it modeled for us, what it means to communicate from the heart space, that will all begin to fade away as we start to give ourselves permission to have the feelings and allow ourselves to connect into our heart. You know, for so long, I was struggling with abandonment and struggling with a lack of allowing myself to feel love, and feeling as though that love always needed to come from something external, not from something internal, something from myself. You see, I believe that we all have the most important obligation or duty of loving ourselves. That's what's first and most important. If we don't love ourselves, we can't love other people, at least not in any real, meaningful, and long-term and consistent way. We may be able to do it for short periods of time, but not really for long periods of time, and not really at the deepest levels. So I want to challenge you to start to identify, hey, do I love myself? What does loving myself mean? What does loving myself look like? And maybe part of it is just having enough self-love to say, I haven't been loving myself. To have that level of self-awareness to say, maybe it seemed that way egotistically on the outside that I loved myself, but I wasn't really loving myself on the inside. You know, there was a point in time in my life where I really, from the outside, people would have thought that I loved myself, but I was hurting on the inside. There was pain on the inside. And guess what? During all of that time, I was not showing up optimally as a man, as a partner, as a leader. And that all started to change the more I began to realize, well, wait a second. What am I looking for here on the external? Why is all of this stuff important to me? Why am I feeling so triggered? Well, it was because I didn't love myself. And life all started to change for me as I went through my own counseling journey, and I realized, hey, there's some abandonment triggers in here. There's some stuff around love that is not too healthy in my mental programming. And so as that started to shift for me, the rest of my life started to shift. So I want to invite you to think about, hey, do I love myself? If I am engaging in self-love, what does that look like? And if I'm not, how would starting to engage in some of that change how I show up in relationships?